Hello and welcome to the Everyday Healthy Human podcast. My name is Jen Rulon, and some people may know me on the Instagram as Coach Jen. And today our guest is an triathlete, but she is also a dear, dear friend of mine who we have. This is Ana Voss, and I can't even do the introduction justice, Ana, because how we met and how you started your journey in the triathlon space is going to resonate so well with the everyday healthy human, because sort of what we talked about before, when people see us accomplishing 15 Ironmans, Kona, 12 Ironmans, like they think, oh my God, you guys make it look so easy. And in reality, it wasn't. And it still cannot be that. It's still not easy, right? So we have a phenomenal history together. And today I would like to introduce you to Ana on the Everyday Healthy Human podcast. So Ana, thank you so much for joining.
I'm very happy to be here. My pleasure.
Why don't you share with everybody on your triathlon journey, but then also how we met, because I think it's how you tell it.
Oh yes, I have all I should tell the story because I have all the flair.
You should tell the story.
Yes. So
yes,
I was watching TV at the very end of 2010, and it was the broadcast was the Kona Championship, and I vividly remember seeing Chrissy Willington just going with her bicycle, unstoppable. I think it was maybe even her first Ironman, or maybe her second one. And I look at my husband and I say, "Oh, that is doable." And he saw I was just crazy because at that point I didn't bike, swim, or run. And I said, "Well, I'm not going to do it, next year, but give me a little time." And I get there, and I'm from Argentina, where huge believers of ourselves. So it's like, I mean, we can work soccer, workout. I can do that. And he just laughed. But the very next day, I went to a store in San Antonio that is no longer around, transition area. And as soon as I walked in the store, Jen was there, minding the front desk. And she was super nice. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to get everything I needed for a triathlon. And she was telling me that she coached people, and she was a really good swimming coach. And I said, "Oh, great," because I don't know how to swim, which, and till this day, I believe she thought I said I'm not very good at swimming, but I had some swimming in me, some swimming background. So fast forward to, it was already 2011, because that was the holidays. And so the first time we met, I think it was February.
Right.
And we met at Lifetime Fitness, a local club in San Antonio. And she said, "Okay, let's swim." She was going to see how I was swimming.
Jump in the water.
And I told her, "Well, I don't know how to swim." And she said, "Well, just, do what you think people do when they swim." So I kind of went half a lane, and she stopped me right away. She made me come back. And she said, well, she never discouraged me, which I love that. And she said, "Well, Ana, I think this year maybe you do an indoor triathlon at the end of the year." So this was February. She was hoping for December because she saw how bad the whole thing was. Right. And I look at her with my whole Latin flair, and I said, "No, I spent $350 American in this 70.3 Ironman, and it's in October. I cannot waste the money. Like, we got to do this thing." And she said, "Well, you will have to read." She didn't panic, although I know she was panicking inside. But she said, "Well, you will have to really swim low. It's not going to be easy." And I said, "Okay, don't worry. I do it, on top of running and biking," which I didn't do either. So we did it. I remember I went to swim so many times a week, and it took me forever, but we made it to Longhorn, and my husband was there, and I made eye contact with him to the very end, because I saw, here is where I die. I drowned in this water in Austin, but I got it done. I got out. I then bike and run. And when I finished, my husband said, "Do you think you can do this all over again in an Ironman?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I can." And the next year we did Ironman Arizona, and actually it was very good. And then we did, I don't know, I think I officially finish like 11 or 12, but I trained for like
Right.
15 with the COVID that never happened and they were canceling there. So
Right.
that was the beginning.
I mean, y'all, like when she told me she couldn't swim, I just had this little inkling like, okay, she could swim just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then when, like she said, when we got to Lifetime, y'all, she couldn't swim. Like she could not
No.
swim. And I'm like,
Mm-mm.
okay, we can't use fins, we can't use a noodle, we can't use paddle boat, like,
It,
and so yeah, it was a challenge for as a
it took
coach.
3 months
But
to
then
like have any sort of
yeah,
flow, I would say, to do a
that's
clean
true.
100 meters.
That's true. Like how much, like was I having you swim what, 4 times a
I
week?
think I did
Do you
something like
remember?
that. And I mean, it took
Yeah.
me hours to get out of there because
Right.
it was such an effort. And
Right.
I remember at the beginning, they were like, sure, like this many times 25 or this many times 50 because I needed to survive
Yeah.
the lane first. So, yeah,
Yeah.
but if you are going to start the journey, I mean, I have no athletic background. If you have to be committed and have self-discipline, and I think we talked about that from the beginning. We knew it wasn't going to be easy.
Right.
And swimming, I think I was 30 or 32 at that point. It wasn't going to come natural, but yeah, I worked hard for it.
Yeah, yeah, yes, you did. And that's the type of people I love coaching, is because they have that goal. They have, like she said, she's got that Latino flair, and I've seen it since I've been here in Costa Rica, and it's powerful, y'all. It's powerful. And like just being around that myself, I'm like, "Oh, I love it." So I could see now that you bring that up, and just that sauciness of you, and you're like, no, I paid for it, so I'm going to
Yeah,
do it.
I think in anything in life, if you cannot believe in yourself, I mean, it's
True.
downhill from there. So you have to have the belief, and it might not work out. It might not happen, but you have to have
Right.
that belief that it's something in you. That you can do it. You might
Mm-hmm.
struggle, you might fail a few times, but you can find the belief in somebody else. So I think we do. Some cultures, they are, we believe
Right.
in ourselves, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but in this case it did work.
Right. It did work. When was your last Ironman?
My last Ironman was 2021. I didn't do any
2021. And that
Ironman
was,
last year. Mm-mm.
that's right. That's right.
Because
Okay. And that was
it was
Arizona?
Ironman Arizona, and that is the
Yeah.
decision was made because I was sick, and
Yeah.
and it wasn't like a big illness. It was an illness that went wrong. It was something very simple that went very, very
Yeah.
wrong, and it had a lot of side effects. Um and you get to a point that your body needs to heal, and
Mm-hmm.
Ironman is just not conducive to balance and hormone balance and let the system slow down and take a break. So, and I wasn't enjoying it very
Right.
much because I mean, it's already a very hard thing to do. And if you're not feeling good, and it was, I was just not a good friend of mine, and we talked the day before
Mm-hmm.
Ironman. I remember we
Yeah.
strategized a little bit with you and with Brandon, and we decided no swim practice, just go and see if you can do it, and if not, just go home. Um, so
Right.
I just didn't. When I do Ironmans, I want to be there and perform them to the best of my ability. That perhaps doesn't give me a PR on the day, but I want to be there saying, feeling that I did everything I could. Uh, but I knew the last two Ironmans, I was going there sick. I couldn't properly train. And I know I can finish
Mm-hmm.
them anyway because I have done so many.
Yeah.
But it's not
Agreed.
it's not the feeling. I don't need one more. And my body was
Agreed.
giving me big signals that uh, you have to slow down. And mentally, I wasn't very happy. We talked about that before. After you do so many, they become a job. When you are, when you are especially so committed to PR and go faster and faster and faster, it was like an undertaking, and I was not having that much fun. I did have fun, but at that point I wasn't having that much fun, and I was in and out, like I don't want to do it anymore. And it was kind of hard because you are so you identify yourself so badly with the Ironman. That is, who are you if you don't do the Ironman? I did it for 14 years. Agreed. So it's just very hard to let that part go. And I think it took me a minute, but so I started last year, and this year I'm very happy that I let it go, but I love it. I have great memories. Good. And now I'm starting a whole other chapter. And
yeah, let's talk about that, because I think that's really transformational of you, and that's something that I talk about, is that we all have transformations, turning into that beautiful butterfly. And it's not just one beautiful butterfly, it's consistent, and so the question to you is, since you've left Ironman, now what are you transforming to? And can you share a little bit about how to become the healthy version of Ana later on in life?
Well, I
without
think
Ironman,
to become the healthier version of Ana later on in life, it was important for me to stop racing Ironman. I just could no longer handle the Ironman training to the level I wanted, and to recover and let my body heal. And as I said before, mentally, it was a huge struggle. And I realized that I'm more than an Ironman, and you can stay healthy, happy, and fit doing something. And actually, most people, a lot of people that are healthy and have beautiful life, many of them don't race Ironman. They have no idea what the thing is. So, so that was the first step, realizing that chapter was closed. It took me a minute to close it out. But then, like everything, the truth is I was a little bit lost. I didn't know. You had so much time, you don't have the scheduling training peaks. I have this energy that, where do I put it? Because I don't have to go and run 15 miles. And but one thing I wanted to do is like do more things with my husband. And also, racing Ironman is a part-time job. So you have schedules, you have to hit all the workouts. So vacations, dinner, the time to go to bed, everything goes around the Ironman. Exactly. If you want to perform good Ironmans, you have to keep the schedule. Self-discipline is everything. So I really wanted to try something else, and he mountain bikes. He loved to mountain bike. I did it many, many years ago, before even the Ironman, and I went to a very easy trail, and I tumbled right there, and I thought, I will never do that thing. I hurt my leg a little bit. I was like, But now I was more ready because I had so much biking in me, and I thought, well, although I would have to learn the skills because mountain biking is quite difficult, I know I can bike, and I know I can suffer, and I can do it with him. So first, I went from the absolutely no way to I'll give it a go. And then I said to myself, and he laughed too, I bet I'm going to be really good at it. I gave myself a little bit of confidence, and that is how
good. That Latino flair.
I bet I can be very good at it. Just give me a little bit of practice. So that is how we started. He lent me one of his bikes, and we started going on rides, and the Ironman training kicked in. So, I didn't have all the skills, but I could hang in there. And then
then the mindset of the Ironman triathlete. That's huge.
Everything is in the mind. Even from the very beginning, he was like, well, you maybe look at me doing this thing. And I was like, you mean, I try anyway, And we have been doing that for like maybe since last October. And I just love it. Okay. I mean, I love it first I can tell that my body is feeling better because
You look great.
I ease up all the other disciplines, but also I
Mm-hmm.
feel lighter and I'm happier in my mind. Because I was
Oh,
so
that's beautiful.
consumed before that I couldn't perform. And this is so much fun. And that's how I take it. It's fun. And I realize how much now that I'm getting older, I'm going to be 47. I like to be in nature and going through the trails and the trees and climbing the rocks. It's like very empowerment. Like you feel this power, like
Yeah.
I'm going with my bicycle and I'm conquering this trail. And it gives you like I don't know how to explain, especially when you do like difficult trails, you are so focused on the patch of dirt in front of you that you don't think about those other million things that you have in your mind. It's almost like an active meditation, because as soon as you start
Mm-hmm.
thinking
Oh, I
about
like
something
that.
else, you hit a tree. Because you lose your focus, you know?
So true.
So by the time I finish writing, I feel so refreshed. My brain is clear, my mind is clear, because for like 2 hours or whatever the ride takes, I have been only focused on where to put my front wheel and nothing
Yeah,
else,
that's great.
which sometimes is a little bit harder with the Ironman, because if you don't feel great and you are on your turbo inside, bend over on your bicycle for 5 hours, you think about
Yeah,
all the scenes, all the problems, you know, makes an
yeah,
issue even harder. But being
right.
outside in
So,
nature is totally different.
yeah, agreed. I like that's a great thought. It's an active
It's an
meditation.
active
So then
meditation.
I like that a lot. Because then so with the mindset that you have as a triathlete and now a mountain biker, and then using that active meditation, how can you help the everyday healthy human use that mindset for their everyday life?
Well, it's kind of a little
Any
bit,
advice?
yeah, it's kind of what I'm trying to do now with this community team, this
Yep.
group I'm trying to put together, like the
Yep.
women empowerment cycling, because I noticed that um, for
Good.
the regular day women, it's very hard, for example, to pick biking or mountain biking, because if you don't have like a husband, a boyfriend, a father that tells you about your bicycle, you might not have the knowledge, so you start limiting yourself. It's like my
Mhm.
first answer was like, no, I think I'm going to get hurt, I'm not sure about that, so I want to help other women to like open their minds to it, um, let
Beautiful.
the possibility come in, like showing that it's other women that can ride these trails just like the guys do, and that you don't have to be embarrassed, you can ask any questions. Sometimes women feel very overwhelmed in the sense that, or if you're not good at it, you shouldn't do it. And
Right.
it's like, no, maybe you can be bad and still give it a go. Because if you go to the
Right.
trails, I go to trails that I'm better than most of the guys there, and they don't care. They're having fun. They're other friends. They stop because they cannot climb a rock. So I want to help the women to sing like, no, this is fun. I can do it no matter. It's not a competition. The trail is always going to win. Nature is always going to win.
Right.
Like,
Right.
give yourself a chance to, start somewhere and work your way through it.
Love
Start
it.
as a beginning, and maybe one day you get really good at it, and you can be held by other women. So it's not shame on asking any questions. We can find the
Yes.
answer. You don't need to feel intimidated because it's such a heavy male thing that
Right.
it's hard for for you to go to the bike shop and ask about something. But
Right.
the
Oh my
idea of the
gosh. Well,
community is
and
like,
yeah.
well, maybe we can find the answer for you. We can show you how to do some
Right.
things. Not the video on YouTube of the teenager jumping out of a rock. I can do it, but more
Right.
conservative, because I had to come back home and go to work. So that is kind of my goal.
Right.
It's just trying to show other women how fun this is, and how good it is for your mental health and also for your body.
Mm-hmm.
Like, women of certain age, you might have a hard time going and run 10, 15 miles 3 times a week, but you can bike them.
Right.
It's very forgiving for the body. It's easy on the joints.
It is.
And it gives you this connection to nature, give you time for yourself to think about it, to clear your mind, to focus on the trail and let everything else go, you know? It's super empowering. So I want to share this feeling with others.
I like it. So I know you're based north of San Antonio. Is this a like, can somebody from New York or New Jersey or whatever like reach out to you and say, hey, I'm really interested in supporting you. How can I get on board? That type of thing.
I mean, if you are a woman and you want to ride your bicycle, or you're thinking about what riding a bicycle looks like, you're welcome. If you're a guy and want to support the ladies, please post, like, subscribe, and share with, sometimes maybe you are not into biking, but your daughter perhaps might be into biking. Ooh. You can share. So if they have questions, or I'm putting like videos of how I do certain scenes, just to show, okay, can you see it can be done? We can do it. We are capable of doing. I mean, a lot of women go through childbirth. We can take a tumble. It's not that difficult,
Right.
Clean yourself and keep going.
Right. Where can my listeners find you online?
I have a website now. It's called womenempowermentcycling.com. And then I'm at Women Empowerment Cycling in Instagram, and same thing on Facebook. And you can find me under me and Ana Voss.
Yes.
So,
Ana Voss.
But yes, the goal is like, this is a community. It's a thing for everybody. I don't want super experienced riders. I mean, great, but I want every level. And actually, I want younger girls, and I want older women that they're thinking, hiking is becoming very difficult, but maybe I can ride my bicycle. We can show you how it's done, or what kind of equipment you need, the basics, the safety, everything.
I think I just had a vision that I could totally see you at bike rodeos for the girls. Like, you could, set up your shop and girls could come and talk to you about cycling. And I think that would be incredible.
I mean, the inequality, this is not like a political thing, but you can see the numbers are totally off. I mean, we were very used to, I'm very used to in the Ironman to be like 20%, but when you go to mountain bike, I don't even think we are 2%. It's age group that of women. One women on the age group. And that, because it's not enough women, the age groups are like 10 years. And it's not fair if you are 60 to be racing with somebody that is 50, for either group.
Right.
But it's because it's not enough. If not enough women do it. And I think a lot is the knowledge about bicycles, and the equipment is a big part. And also because I experience nowadays that it's almost two kind of women that ride their bicycles. The one that is like me, that they love them, and you love bicycles and everything about it. And then the poor lady that the husband told her, come and ride with me. This is a super easy trail. I give you a bicycle. And she's holding on for dear life. No, because she's not good, because she's a beginner and he's way more experienced than her. So she's having no fun trying to go with him. But if instead of him, she got the bicycle and went with one of us, we will take our time, introduce her to the trail, explaining the things, where the difficult things are coming, how to do it, walk the obstacles with her, instead of feeling the pressure that she doesn't want, and then she doesn't want to do it ever again.
Well, but that's the first mistake. Like, I would never coach a partner. Like my ex and I, we never coached each other. We'd go work out at the same time, maybe go for a swim, but we would never coach each other. We're like, no, like, and like, even like when I would ski, like I would never ask a boyfriend to teach me how to ski. I would take lessons.
Yeah, but it's kind of what you see on the trail. So that is kind of my focus. I want the everyday woman that it has a lot of potential, but the introduction wasn't great. So how can we fix that? Because
Love it.
eventually she will have a good level of expertise, and she might hold on to it and
Yeah.
have super fun like I do with my husband. But you
Right.
have to start
That's
right.
true.
And so
That's true.
that is kind of where
Very good.
where I am, and also in use, because you can see it's no girls. I mean, it's so few of
Right.
men, and you can tell the ones that are there, the dads are so into mountain biking. And
Yeah.
but it's a shame
Yeah.
because I mean you can get scholarships to great universities,
Oh,
under
that's
like a mountain
right.
bike scholarship, and it's just not enough. I think also, you know, I would like to take it to the next level and uh, perhaps fundraise some money and pay youth for travel, because it's expensive going to this, even in Texas. I mean,
Yeah.
Texas is a big place. I live in Texas, and you might have a 9-hour drive to the next race, and that costs money.
Exactly.
So it has a lot of
Yeah.
potential. I'm just starting, you know, a small.
Just
I'm just
starting,
starting,
which is
it's a
great.
small,
It's all that matters. Yeah.
trying to, you know, win some
Yeah.
races. So people, you know, I'm very new on the whole mountain bike scene, but I,
Yeah.
you know, I try to be friendly and get other, you know, women to follow, and you know, I'm excited. It's
Yeah.
a passion project,
Well,
you know.
it is. And I think it's a beautiful transformation that you've done from Ironman to the mountain biking to now empowering women, just sort of how like I was able to empower you to
Yeah.
bike and to run. And like, you know, I mean, Chrissy Wellington empowered you to
Yes.
go do a race. I mean, us women
Yeah, and actually,
working together is beautiful.
Yeah, and actually,
Yeah.
you have been a great inspiration with all the things you do, because usually I will just sit on the sideline and say, you know what, I'm doing my own thing, just like the Ironman. I have my schedule, my time. And in this
Right.
one, I thought, well, maybe I should do something. If it's not me, who? And, you know, I can
I
do
love
it.
it.
I can help. And maybe, you know, and you do that a lot. So it's like, okay, look, Jennifer, that's all this is. Maybe I can do that and don't be sitting here waiting to see what others do.
Exactly.
You know, where am I going to take all this experience I have? I have to
Yeah.
give it to somebody if they want it, you know?
Right.
So it has been a great inspiration for.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm excited for your adventure. I'm very excited for your
Thank
venture.
you.
And I will, when I come back to Texas, I'm going to have to steal a hat from you, or
Oh
at
yeah,
least a
plus I
kit.
have more than
you
one
know?
mountain bike, so I can lend you one, and you can come and
Okay.
ride with me. Because
Well,
I
good.
know, and actually that is other thing, you know. Now I see you riding your bicycle at the
My
beach,
bicycle,
and that is
my
something
beach cruiser.
I know, but it's
Yeah.
something that forget about just performance or a sport, just for your
Yes.
personal health,
I love it.
transportation, just having the mean of like getting there and riding your bike and just get the wind, you know, like
Exactly.
that's something for your soul.
Yeah.
Also.
It makes me, that beach cruiser makes me so happy.
Yeah.
It's just, it's so, you know, and when I bought the car, everybody's like, oh, I miss your beach videos, you know? So I told myself that I have to ride into town at least twice a week, just for my soul than anything.
And kind of that is kind of the feeling, you know, part of biking, of course, is health, is a sport, you become active.
Yeah.
But also that is you become almost like a child again, you know, it's like you're riding
do.
your bicycle.
100%.
You know? And it like give you like a youth, you know, like your soul is happy. So that is kind of the feeling that I want to show other women. You can do this thing and it's super fun. And so
agreed. Okay, I have one more question for you.
Let's see.
It's like the 1 minute question. What is one final thought that you can give to our followers about how to start their own transformation and become their own beautiful butterfly?
I guess I will say you have to stop thinking about it and you have to take the first step. Procrastination is the worst enemy. And but also you don't need to become a world champion. You don't have to do 15 Ironmans. You don't need to, you know, lift enormous amount of weight. You can start small. Health looks very different to different people, you know, but you just need to get going. You
I love it.
You have to stop overthinking, which is a lot of people do, like self-doubting yourself. You said, who cares? At the end of the day, who cares? Is your life.
Who
just do
cares?
one thing on the day. Do one thing. If it's a 2-minute walk, it's a 2-minute walk. You don't need to go and do my workout or Jen's workout. We have a lot of fitness and experience. Just do 2 minutes, and tomorrow other 2 minutes, and then 2 days from now you do 5 minutes, and go and forget about your weight or what you look like. It will create a routine, and you will feel better and better and better, and then the other things will fall into place.
100%.
Yep.
And we will end on that. Ana, thank you for being one of my OGs, the original gangsta of genrulon.com, and so many lessons learned, so many happy memories with you. And I am forever grateful for, I'm not going to cry, but I'm forever grateful for your friendship.
Cry. It's very important. Cry.
I am forever grateful for your friendship and your knowledge and how you are inspiring other women. And that just makes me happy.
No, thank you. I love you. I mean, I couldn't have started without you. We come a long way. We did some crazy things. We've come a long way, girl. We had some crazy videos and photos to show to people. Right. It was a great journey, and I'm very excited for you. And
thank you.
Anytime, anything you need, you give me a call.
And I'm going to say this on the podcast that a year from now, we will do one in Spanish.
Oh, yes. For all
an interview in Spanish.
Yeah. Are people just listening or watching us too? Both.
Both.
For the people watching and the listeners, next podcast we're going to do it in Spanish. So you will be Spanish. I want to see if she sounds as funny as I sound and speaking in English.
I love it. With that said, have an amazing day, and we'll just make sure everybody takes that first step into transforming into that beautiful butterfly.
Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Who cares?
Love it. All right. Ciao.
Bye. Saludos.
Bye. Salud.